Welcome back. It's your best friends. It's Austin. And
Sean.
what's up, boy?
Not a whole lot. I think I'm coming down with a little bit of a
That's dumb.
sickness.
Don't do that.
That's what I told the sickness. I said, "This dumb, stop." And
What did it
it's
say?
just said, "No."
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
well, I'm sorry to hear that. How
Whatever.
was your
It's
week
fine.
other than that, though?
Pretty good. We went to Topgolf this
We did
weekend.
good at Top Golf. That
Uh,
was my first time ever. Is that your first time ever?
that was my first time at Topgolf. Yeah.
We have to rate it then. We got to give it a review and we got to rate it. We got to run down the experience.
All right. Cool.
Let's do it. So, I didn't do the scheduling, so I don't know how the scheduling was, but I will say we had a bay reservation. And I guess that means nothing
For like 8 people or
because
something.
yeah, I guess that just puts you further ahead in line than a walk-in. Seems like that's what it is because
Okay.
like you can't suggest or request, I should say, like an upper bay for whatever reason. Maybe it was just because it was a Saturday and we went. I wanted to be on like I didn't even know they had lower bays. I wanted to be on like the second level or the third level.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to.
But I guess, I don't know.
It was
We
still
didn't
still sick from the lower level.
it was still pretty safe in the lower level. So yeah, like
So I guess it
the
was like a call ahead situation rather than like a reservation.
I mean, we had to pay for the reservation.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like, yeah, but it's like you pay to call ahead or whatever. Weird thing to me was like you had to pay for the reservation, you had to pay for the bay reservation, and then everyone like had to pay individually after that. Like every single person who like played had to pay individually. That was kind of weird. I didn't
Yeah, that was
expect that
weird.
at all, but whatever. Um, Drinks were super pricey, but the service was like nice. Like they were good. They were quick. They were like, hey, you guys need anything? Good. I will say, I don't know if you experienced this on your side because we had like two bays next to each other. The software is kind of glitchy.
Yes, I found that to be the case. Yours in particular was more glitchy because you had to like stop and restart a game, didn't you? Didn't it like
Yeah,
just
yeah, we had to
completely stop
completely
working?
stop. Yeah, it like wouldn't. Well, one like the thing that pushes the golf balls out like stopped working, and I was like, all right, nice. So we had to get a guy to come over, and he was like, yeah, let's fix this thing. And then he brought over some other guy, and then that other guy actually fixed the thing. Anyway, so yeah, they fixed it, and then we had to like restart the game because it dispensed like all that one person's balls, so you couldn't hit them for points or whatever. I don't know, it was stupid. So we restarted the game, and then like maybe we're just really dumb, but like I feel like it wasn't keeping track of who got the points for each one appropriately and correctly.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I kind of wish it had an automated. I don't know if this was the case on y'all's side, but it didn't have an automated like this person's turn, then this person's turn. It was like
Yeah,
you had to go in and you had to like click on the next person before you actually
yeah,
did it, and then we would like get lose track. Did you already go? Okay, all right, then I'll click on the next person.
yeah.
So there was that part of it that was kind of frustrating. There was also like if uh you're listening and you've never been to Top Golf, basically it's just this big golfing driving range, but they have like these cameras that are connected to the bay. And whenever you hit the ball, it will like track where your ball's going. And if it lands in like one of the big holes, it will like give you points. Um, and it's all like through software. I thought that was pretty cool that they would like
That was
animate the
pretty cool.
ball. And like I was surprised at how well it was, but it still wasn't that great. There were a couple
No, it
times
wasn't
where
great.
we would hit the ball and it would land in a spot to get points and it like didn't register that it got points.
Yeah, or the
That was
opposite.
really frustrating.
Like I saw some that just landed. Like I watched the ball with my eyes land like on the outside of the ring, and then it's like perfect in the middle plus 14. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
I thought that was glitchy. We also played there's like different games you can play, right? Like the first game we played was just like if you hit it in the hole, you get
Regular
points.
old
First
Top Golf.
person, yeah. First person or whoever gets the most points wins. The second game we played was like an Angry Birds game, which I thought was pretty clever. It was basically like
Classic.
on the screen, they would like lay out an Angry Bird structure that you had to knock down. And whenever you hit the ball, they would take like whichever direction your ball went, whatever the velocity was, and it would like track a bird going in that direction. And like on the screen, they would show you the structure and like the holes around it to show you like, okay, in real life, this is where I have to aim the ball in order to hit this part of the structure. I thought it was pretty clever, but it was kind of hard to get it to track the ball. Like you had to be at a certain height and be going a certain speed for it to track. So there were a couple of times where all of us had to like hit the ball a couple more times than we were supposed to.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty glitchy, but yeah, I would say overall, like the software wasn't a hindrance to me having a good time. I thought it was still really fun. I had a good time
Yeah,
doing it.
I agree. It was pretty
But yeah, it
cool.
was kind of glitchy.
I realized how trash I am at hitting a golf ball with a golf club.
So this is what I wanted to ask because we've talked off the podcast before about you considering like trying golf. What were your takeaways as far as like just the golfing
Uh,
aspect goes?
the golfing aspect, I could see how it would be addictive because it's like it's a very technical swing, you know.
I think it scratches a similar itch to drumming,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think it probably does.
where it's
I
like
was just trying to whack the shit out of it, so I wasn't trying to like if I thought too hard about like what my swing looked like, I would 100% miss the ball. Like just completely miss it and feel like I'm gonna like break my shoulder in half.
yeah.
Uh, if I didn't think about it, it still wasn't great, but like every now and then it would be decent and I would hit it real far or
Yeah.
whatever. I feel like in general, I could get it where I wanted it to go. I'm probably inflating that possibility, but yeah, I felt like I was decently accurate, but like figuring out how to actually get it to go as far as I wanted to was tough.
Yeah. That's valid.
Because I felt like I'll just whap the shit out of it. No, you can't really just whap the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like gotta have some sort of certain curve, I'm sure, to increase the velocity at the right time, you know,
Yeah.
right before you hit the ball. So yeah, no, I'm not really answering the question. It was cool. I don't think I would like pick up golf today and start becoming a golf aficionado.
Yeah. It's valid. Would you do it
Yeah.
again?
Top golf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like super often, but I think it's fun when there's a group of people.
Yeah.
I haven't ever gone without a group of people, but I could see it would be a little bit more dull the less people you have.
Yeah. It was definitely fun doing it with a group of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Got a bowling alley vibe, right? Like it's just
Yes,
you got
so similar.
lanes.
So similar.
I will say it was cool that they like came around and took drink orders. I was more
Yeah, that was
imagining
pretty
that there
cool.
would be just like a window that you would have to go and order
Yeah,
food
there
or
was a
drinks if you
bar,
wanted. Yeah.
but it seemed like only people that were waiting for a bay were going to the bar.
Right.
And then everyone else was just staying in their bay.
Mhm.
It's time too. I can't remember the time limit on it. Maybe 2 hours,
2 hours.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours went by pretty quick.
Yeah, I would
So
say
I guess that
so.
means we're having fun.
Went through 2 games, at least on our side.
Yeah, we went through 1.5 because ours got
Weird.
yeah.
Uh,
We also did some practice beforehand. Overall, though, what would you rate Top Golf out of 10?
Out of
10 is
10.
like amazing, best experience of your life. Or let's do a would recommend.
Probably like a 7. And I would
7 on the
recommend it.
would recommend.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably put it around 7, 6 or 7.
If I think about like other activities that I do that I've done in a group setting, right? Like bowling or like ice skating or roller skating.
I hate ice skating.
Any of those activities. I love ice skating.
Trash.
It's great. That I used to do that at Hobart Arena all the time.
That's crazy.
when I was a youngin.
Wow.
When I compare it to stuff like that, I would say it was a good time. So I'd probably put it at a 7. But yeah,
That's pretty high. What's a 10?
I don't know. Rock climbing.
Climbing, what's a 9?
Maybe like one of those. Wait, no. A 10's got to be like one of those trampoline parks.
Oh, I've never been. I want to go.
I've never been either, but they seem like they'd be a good time.
Oh, well, now we got to go and find out. We got to review
Yeah.
it on the podcast.
Yeah, you're
okay.
right. Your
So
best
we'll
friends
see if it's
jump.
a 10. I think rock climbing is not a 10, but I'd say it's like an 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. What about drumming? Drumming with friends?
Drumming with friends?
Yeah.
10. 11. 11
Yeah.
win.
11.
Great time. great time.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you
an
ever done
exciting.
batting cages?
Yes. Yeah,
Those are
batting cages are
cool.
fun.
I
They
like
are fun.
those.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at it, but
What if
pretty
there's a
fun.
Top Golf version of that? Like where there's like different mini games, inside of it.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
If you know of it, let us know in the comments below.
Yep. You know what else is a good time is laser tagging or
Dude, laser
airsofting.
tag is
I've never
so
done
fun. It's unnecessarily fun.
have you ever done paintballing? I've never done paintballing.
I have, but it was a long time ago, and I wasn't like super into it.
It's valid.
My brothers were into it, so I just got kind of like drug into it.
Gotcha. Yeah, my brother was
So
into it, but I never tried it. I did airsoft more than I did any of that. But yeah, laser tagging. Laser tagging is a good time.
I raced bikes for forever. That's a good time.
That's right. Yeah. How long did you do that for? Or
Long
maybe
time.
a better
I don't
question is,
know.
what age did you stop doing it?
I can't remember the age I stopped, but I definitely did it for at least a decade.
Dang, that's crazy.
So it was good times.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
Well,
Anyway, that's enough Top Golf.
yeah. What else happened this week? Nothing crazy. A lot of meetings for work.
Yeah.
It was a big like planning week for work, and yeah, I don't, I don't really like the long meetings, but
No,
I
yeah.
think we've talked about it on here
How do
before.
you feel about just meetings in general?
I just think there's you they're necessary to a point, but like there comes a point where it's just like all semantics. Like the phrase that kept like popping in my head while I'm sitting through the meetings this week is like processes don't get things done. Like people get things done. And I'm just like, throughout all of these meetings, a lot of the conversation was around like how do we fit the practical, like actual act of what we're going to be doing, which is like taking a bunch of work, prioritizing it, and then executing it. Like that is essentially what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, that is what's going to happen. And we're like taking it and like putting it under this umbrella and putting that umbrella under this umbrella so that we can like track it properly. And we need to make sure that like over the course of this period of time, we need to commit to this work and say uncommit to this work and say like, oh, we think we can get this done, but maybe. And it's like, it was like a lot of like, I don't know, arguing semantics and trying to decide if we can fit certain things into boxes when at the end of the day, it's just like, this process isn't getting the thing done. Getting the thing done is what we already did, which was prioritize the work, and then we execute the work. And I don't know. I think the meetings that we did to prioritize the work and decide what work to do next. Ooh, we have a cat.
Hey, Kat.
Is important, and I'm glad we did it. But the meetings that happened today, where we were talking way beyond the scope of the work, just to like, I don't know, track it and say that we did what we did today, like waste of time.
I see what you're saying. So you think the planning aspect is important in order
You
to,
can
as
over
long as
plan.
it's, yes, as long as it's helping the execution. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
Yes.
Okay. And then next question is like, you just feel like the more bureaucratic it gets, the more checks and balances there are, the worse. To like make sure that you track the progress appropriately. So and so guy or gal can go look at your progress and then make a judgment call based on the progress you made versus what you said you were going to do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I hate that shit so much, dude.
It's so
It's there's no way. I wonder if there's like a research field that like their whole thing is they go into an organization, maybe it's a corporation, maybe it's small business, maybe it's government entity, and they're like, all right, how is this running from like a logistical managerial standpoint? And like how are we really valuing and using and utilizing human capital? And what processes are we employing that are actually leading to more productivity and a happier workforce? I wonder if there's like a branch of research that does just that. Because
I
if there
hope so.
isn't, there should be.
We should find an article to do that.
We should. I know that there are like business analysts who, or not analysts, there's a better word. Um, I don't know the exact word, but I was just going to describe it and then maybe we could land on it. They basically come in. Oh, there we go. Consultant, a business
Consultant. Okay.
consultant.
Yeah.
So like manage and their whole thing is like, well, how are you running this thing? Here's what I would do differently if I was in your shoes from a third person perspective, from an outside perspective. Here's what I think is working. Here's what I think isn't working. They like spend a week at a factory or they spend a week in an office and they just watch and they look around, they take notes, they talk to people, they chat, they see what the meetings are like. And at the end of the week or the end of the day or the end of the few days, they like write up this whole report about like what they think worked and what they think didn't work.
I think I go back and forth because I think a lot of the problem is that is what's happening sometimes. Like, let me put it this way: a lot of the people in my position, like software engineering, right, have the same opinion as me, and we're also the ones carrying out the tasks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
bringing a consultant in is just adding another layer of abstraction over the actual work that needs to get done. So I would worry that it would just result in the same thing, which is,
It depends
oh,
on the
you should
consultant.
be doing. That's true. It does depend on the
Because
consultant.
if it was me or you probably or someone else who has had similar experiences to us that are in multiple different areas of life in terms of managing people and reaching a common goal and stuff like that, I would say they would probably be like, yeah, the meetings are not working. We need to cut down on the meetings, or the meetings last too long. It seems like, why are you doing it at the end of the day? Like, why wouldn't you do it during the day? Like, right after lunch or right before lunch or something where it's like easy to get motivated to go to the thing. Why
Yeah.
would we do it at the end of the day? Stuff like that. And then how to keep workers more motivated and have a good positive vibe, or I don't know.
No.
I think
Yeah.
it could be good depending on the person, but
I
just like
agree.
every profession, there's I'm sure some consultants that are ass at their job, and then some
Yeah.
that are good, and
That's
some that are
exactly
like,
the
oh, it's
thing.
just got to be worksheets. You gotta do the spreadsheets.
Exactly. That's what would worry me about that, is the person that went and got the degree in like business consulting in that field would come in and just be like, well, if you do this meeting in this particular, it just turn into a little bit more bureaucratic shit because that's what they're
Yeah,
familiar with, and they're just
dude.
disconnected from the work that has to get done.
With things that aren't medicine and law, I am way less confident in someone's abilities whenever I hear that they have a degree in something. And I'll go ahead and attack a lot of people that we know, and maybe some people who are listening to this podcast. When I hear that someone has a degree in music education, I'm like,
That's
oh
the
God.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is going to be terrible. They're going to be so bad at playing their instrument and so bad at teaching music. Like, they're
It's
about to be
so crazy
trash.
that
And
that's the
then
case.
yeah, and I feel the same way about like business consultant. Oh, you have a business consultancy degree. You're about to be so garbage at even analyzing this business period and understanding how
Yeah.
this business runs, and you're definitely not going to give me any good advice. And then like, oh yeah, I got my accounting degree. I'm like, oh, you got your accounting degree? Like, what's a balance sheet again? And they're like, income and debt and
Yeah,
well,
right.
what would be a good equity to debt ratio? And they're like, you know what I mean? Like,
Thinking
I
back
don't
to
know.
back to their notes.
Yeah, like 1.5 equity to debt. Uh, you know. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
it's just like the older I get, I'm like, and there are some things that's not the truth. Hyper like technical, like what your dad did, like aerospace engineering. I would want someone who had a fucking aerospace engineering degree. Law, what you have to
I don't know, dude. I
have.
think ChatGPT should be making our plans from now
Oh,
on.
yikes. Yeah, we'll just say this: very high stakes things. We want a trained professional,
Yes. Yes.
like medicine, surgery. I don't want a yogist or what's it called? A yoga teacher doing
A
my
yogi.
brain surgery. A yogi, yeah. So, but with
Uh,
more of like, I guess, softer skill type things, I am way more skeptical when someone has a degree versus doesn't. I
yeah,
guess
music's the
another
big one. Big
Music is
for
the big one.
me.
Another good example would be like something like event planning. If someone told me they had an event planning bachelor, I'd be like, "You're about to be so garbage at
Or
planning
like
events."
film or photography and stuff like that too. Like I feel like the best
Throwing shade.
that I don't mean to, but just from well, let me put it this way. When I was younger, I wanted to be a filmmaker. That was
Oh
like
wow.
the when I grow up, that's what I want to do. Like I used to make movies just with my friends, and a lot of the people that I watched that made like professional short films that I enjoyed never went to school for film. You know what I mean? Like they did a lot, or they went and dropped out, and because they found more value in learning the shit on the side, or they got somebody to mentor them, or
Yeah.
a lot of those like create not bagging on creatives at all. I think it's great. I think a lot of creative people can find more value outside of a classroom than they can in the classroom.
Well, I do you think that's because they get put in a box?
In school,
Yeah, and it's the same with same dude, so similar to like business consulting and stuff like that. I feel like you get put in a box and they're like, this is the framework that you have to use.
yes,
Now go use it. You're an expert. And
yeah,
then I think college degrees are dangerous for the adult brain, period. Because it's like, oh, I got my college degree. I'm only 22, 23, 21, whatever. Time to stop learning. That's you're fucked. Like if
yeah.
you stop learning between, I don't know, 22 and I don't know, forever. I haven't seen the next past the 20s, but like if I wasn't learning more things in my 20s, dude, I'd be a fucking idiot. If I just decided to
Yeah,
stop learning new shit
it's
when I graduated college.
kind of like what we talked about a while ago, like how there are these weird chapters in life that we just kind of
Yeah.
agreed are there, and
Yeah.
like the college transfer from college to like job, like to career, is like a big one where people are like, oh well, once you're finished with school, like now your life is just being whatever you got your major in. It's like, no, not at all. Like it doesn't
No,
have to be that.
it doesn't have to be that.
Um,
For some people, it is that.
for some people, it is that. That is
I
true.
think a lot of people.
Yeah, to to talk about what you were saying with being put into a box for a lot of those creatives. I think what it is like I think school tries to give you or try to convince you that like a formula is the answer always. You know what I mean? Not
It's
like in the
not.
literal sense, but in the sense of like, if you follow these basic steps, that's what makes a good filmmaker or a good
Yeah. Hey, you
photographer
can
or
plug
a
it into
graphic
this.
designer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can plug it into these three things, and then you have a few options inside
Yeah.
each one of these things, and then you choose those options, and you're on your way to riches and success.
Yeah. Whereas somebody who didn't go to school, like maybe they'll learn those basics that you learn in school from like a couple of, outside sources, but because they're driven by just like interest and passion, they tend to just break the rules. And that's when the innovation in the creative fields happen, is when they're just like inherently breaking the rules and, bending things, thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, that was my
Anyway,
week.
hey, you had a cat. Tell
Oh,
me about
yeah,
this cat?
that's right.
Last time we did a podcast episode. If you didn't catch the WGI 2023 recap, go check it out. Especially if
Yes,
you care about
please do.
WGI. If you don't care about WGI, stay for the kitty cats. But I hated Unbroken City a lot. That's a spoiler for you.
Little
I
sneak
felt a little
peek.
bit bad about it. Like after the episode was over, I was like, damn, that was a lot of shade. But
That's all
whatever.
right. um, yeah, last week I had some friends over to play games, and on my patio was another cat just sitting and looking inside. I was like, this cat looks distressed and hungry. So I was like, I'm gonna go give it some
Oh,
food. Open the door, cat runs in and starts eating the food, just like
oh my
going
gosh.
nuts. So one, this cat is super hungry too. This cat just walks into my apartment. Fun fact, this cat is still in my apartment. Yeah.
You haven't found anybody for her yet?
Ooh, tomorrow. We are
Oh,
I'm taking the cat to somebody tomorrow. I was going to take the cat to a humane society today. My mom actually was gonna come help me with that because I was in meetings all day. But she posted to help me saying like, hey, we found a cat. Like, is anybody interested in a cat? She checked Facebook today and somebody like 30 minutes before she was supposed to come pick up the cat was like, I'll take it. And so she was like exchanging messages with them. So I'm very thankful that we found a found a home for
Person.
it.
Yeah.
Um, rather than just, going and sitting in the cage until they're able to get somebody to come pick them up. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was I was not prepared to be taking care of a cat for a week, but he was a sweetie. Didn't like
Oh,
He didn't mess anything up. Um, yeah, it was one of those things where it's like you've been outside for a while, but you're definitely not a feral cat. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah.
definitely should have a home because he was immediately like he wasn't scared of us. Like he was maybe a little skittish, but the moment like you pet him, he was just like loving on you and
Oh,
being super sweet. So that's why I was like, yeah, I definitely need to hang on to this cat and find him a home. Can't
that's
just can't
crazy.
just can't just set him loose.
Well, good
So
job. That's your good deed of the week.
it's my good deed of the week. But yeah, I have a third cat in the apartment. He's orange. His name is Ezekiel.
Ezekiel
That's the name that I
makes
came
me
up with.
think of Little House on the Prairie type times, you know?
Oh yeah, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
But yeah, I got a cat, but not for long.
Dang. Well, not for long.
Well, I got this cat
Congrats
for long.
and uncongrats.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
How was your week?
Well, oh, it was good. I don't have anything to say.
All right.
Let me think. No, it was good.
Nice. We saw sorry, this was not a part of your or mine week, but 3 weeks ago we saw a movie. Went to the movies. Do you not remember
Oh
this?
yeah, yeah. Okay, we did see a movie. I was like, we went to see a movie. We were gonna go see a different movie, dude. What movie were we gonna go see?
I
I
have no
can't
idea because
remember.
you guys went and saw it anyway.
Yeah, we did. It was crap. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's coming to me. I think it's called like 53 or something. 65? Oh, she said
One of
65.
those numbers.
I did. Yeah. So you want me to spoil it or no?
Sure. I mean, you can tell me what it's about.
Well, I'll just say this. It's about
Spoiler alert. I don't
65.
know what he's about to. I don't know what he's
Yeah,
about to say.
it's about 65 million years ago. Billion? 65 billion? I think it's million. I think it's 65 million years old because I don't think the Earth is 65 billion years old. I think the Earth is like 4 billion years old. We're gonna go with 65 million with an M years ago, and it was pretty cool. I feel like it was kind of low budget. The only reason I say that is because there were very, very, very few actors in it. But Adam Driver was the main character, and then there was a girl. I can't
It's
remember who the
million.
girl was.
Get shit on.
Million.
Also, fun fact: 65 grossed 56 million worldwide.
What? Wait, what? 65 what?
Grossed 56 million
Oh, didn't I
dollars.
say 56? Or did I say 52?
I think you
Did I
said
say
52.
56? What did I say?
I think you said 52.
Like something totally different.
53?
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I
But
was
yeah,
trying to
65,
take my win.
56 million worldwide gross. That's funny. Anyway, Adam Driver,
Adam Driver. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then we went and saw what was it called?
the
Was it
Dungeons and
just called
Dragons
Dungeons and
movie.
Dragons?
It was called something. I think there was like a subtitle to it too. I can't remember.
Yeah, probably. I thought it was funny and cool. We sat really close, and I've never sat that close before, so my eyes had to like adjust. I was like looking over here, and I was like
when I
looking over.
went when I went to go reserve our seats, I thought that was the back of the theater because I'm a scrub, but also those were the only seats available that were like five together. So I was just like,
Oh, I get you.
damn, in the
Okay.
back that sucks. And I was like, oh, jeez, we're really in the front,
Dude,
like
I
right
literally had to
there.
like turn my head to look at like a part of the screen that was over here. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, that's crazy. Oh, what's going on over there?
yeah,
Yeah, it took me a sec to adjust.
yeah.
If you're a front row theater sitter, get off this podcast right now.
It's not my
Get out of
favorite.
here.
It's not my favorite. Thankfully, we're in a theater that like where the seats are like reclined and shit. Because otherwise, I don't think I would have been like
Yeah.
break my neck just looking up.
Yeah, I would not have liked that.
But yeah, I thought the movie was. I agree. I thought the movie was funny, and it was
Yeah,
it
I
was
thought it was
definitely
funny. It was
enjoyable.
funnier, definitely funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Me too.
quite a many memes.
It was definitely cheesy. If anybody listening has played Dungeons and Dragons before, the movie is very much like, I mean, it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's all just kind of riffing on that. So
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it.
yeah, it was good.
Dude, I was gonna say something about my week. Oh, my week was good until last night, but I'm not gonna go into it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you know about it. You know about it. It's a stock market thing.
Oh, yeah.
But we're gonna leave it.
Yeah, that's
We're just
bad.
gonna. If you want to know about it and you have my number, just text me and I'll rampage to you
Yeah.
if you want to hear about it. But
Tough.
as it relates to that, we're gonna talk about a little bit of money stuff.
Oh, it does relate to
So
that. All right. All
it
right.
does. I have an article, and it's not an article explaining the bad earnings report that that company had. It is cloudmusicfood.com, your home for live music
Woo.
lessons. We can go on here and we can browse instructors and we can get some lessons. Okay. I got some lessons available if you want to take some lessons. Anyway, check it out
Some
over
new
here.
new
Check.
instructors, by the way.
There are new instructors coming tonight or tomorrow. So, new instructors. All right. Anyway, 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And then there's a little subtitle, how to keep your budget in check, whatever. Okay. Let's just talk about the title first of all.
Oh my god.
I want to define this. Paycheck to paycheck means if you didn't have your next paycheck, you couldn't pay your bills. So that means that they don't have enough savings for 1 month's worth of expenses. Crazy. So let's read a little bit.
Really crazy. That's a very unfortunate
Months.
statistic.
Yes, it is. Yeah. What's your first take? Let's do first takes. Dude, these two cats are going WWE style right now, right in front of me,
Fucking
like at my
wrestling.
feet. Yeah, dude, they're going at it.
Oh my
And like
god.
there's a stool like on the ground, and they're just like Luna's like pulling herself through the stool, like toward Millie on the ground. Oh, now they're under the bed. Yeah, they're being little menaces.
Jesus.
Anyway, first takeaways on the article.
That sucks. I think we talked about a couple episodes ago. I was unprepared for like the average annual salary that Americans have when I was like doing some research after I graduated college. It's sad, man. That's sad that
It's
it's
crazy.
people are, not even putting a little bit of into savings and not
Yep.
even like into I'm not even talking about like into stocks and stuff like we talked about, like just into a savings account.
A savings account. Yes.
That's nuts.
Definitely scary. I mean,
Over 50 is
yeah,
a crazy amount.
it is absolutely wild. I just wonder how this happens. Like, is it just like lifestyle creep? Meaning like basically living above, I mean, they got to be living above their means. That's the definition. You had to be able to put some money away for a rainy day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. A couple key points from this article. Cost of living surged in 2022. The number of Americans living to paycheck jumped to 64% as of December. That was 2022. Okay, 9.3 million more Americans said they were stretched too thin in comparison to 2021. And then it says a few key moves can keep your budget in check. Let's find some cool stuff. This is the craziest shit, dude. Read this.
For the first time, more than half of all six-figure earners also said they were stretched too thin. What? A jump from 42% a year ago. More than half of all six-figure earners?
Half say they're stretched too thin. This is my opinion on this, dude. You have to stop spending so much money.
Okay, yeah. My thoughts on this article like switched. If you're making six figures, dude, like you don't have to be stretched too thin. And also, to be fair, it's dependent on where you live too. I will say
that's very true. It is dependent upon
somebody
where you
making
live.
100K where we live versus like California
and New York
or San Francisco,
yeah, you're right.
New York.
You're
like
right.
that's
I
different.
agree with you, but 42% or 50% of America is not living in California and New York.
That is true.
So, I mean, yes, cost of living in certain areas is ridiculous, but like typically in those areas, wages are also higher.
True.
So someone who would make 100 here might make 100 excuse me, might make 130 in California or New York. And,
At
and
least.
it's like even government jobs are like that too. Like government jobs in New York, you get way more. Like being like a high school teacher is like prestigious. Like it's super hard to get in and even get an interview at a New York public school. Even though they don't have great public schools, they pay racks, dude.
Yeah.
And then here it's like we're begging for teachers to show up.
Yeah.
So okay, they say that inflation is the problem. Do you think inflation is the problem? I think that's total bullshit. I don't think inflation is the
I
problem.
don't think inflation's the problem. Well, especially for six-figure earners, dude. That just seems like poor managing of money.
Yes, I think 99% of it is poor management of money. If you make $4,000 a month and you're spending $4,000 a month, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If you make 4,000 and you're spending 2,000, you're in a good spot. If you make 4,000 and you're
It's a
spending
really good spot.
2,500, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
If you make 4,000, you're spending 3,000, you're in a good spot. There's so many things, I guarantee it, that every single person who is stretched too thin, who is on, especially, I'll just focus on this one right here, especially of the six-figure earners in the U.S. There are definitely things you can cut out today. Today, you could go on your phone and click some buttons and stop fucking paying for them.
It's probably a lot of
Period.
subscriptions too. Like subscriptions they don't even know what they're paying, that they're still paying
Eating
for.
out,
Yep.
buying too much new clothing, having a huge car loan. Ridiculous,
Having the
man.
like most expensive apartment
Yep.
or townhouse.
Dude, this
or
is so
something.
bullshit.
Renting.
Fed's effort to curb inflation and drive up the cost of debt. We're seeing near record numbers in Americans living paycheck to paycheck. So, to me, someone who is not in the market for a car that I would buy on loan, someone who's not in the market for a house, someone who doesn't have to take out any new debt. The cost of debt going up has not affected me personally in a single way at all because I don't hold revolving debt. I don't have a variable mortgage. I don't have a variable car loan. I don't have a car loan at all. I don't pay any credit card interest, right? So the only people that this affects is those who took on a variable mortgage, adjustable rate mortgage, someone who took on a variable rate or adjustable rate car loan, someone who holds credit card debt, someone who's taking out new debt for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, 42% or more than half of all six-figure earners are not taking out new business lines of credit. It's not like they're taking business debt to make more money.
Nah.
It's consumer debt, I guarantee it. So if you just don't have consumer debt, then this won't be an issue for you. Yes, the cost of debt increasing does hurt the economy, period, flat out, because companies have debt and most of their debt is variable rate, and then they have to pay more, and that hurts their bottom line. But if you're not invested in the stock market because you have $0 at the end of each month, then that doesn't affect you either.
Yeah.
It's an individual issue.
I think so, especially
like they're
that
making it seem like
42%.
it's an America issue.
Yeah. Do you think that's
It's
just
not
like
America's fault.
I don't know, lack of instruction on how to handle money, or like conflicting instruction on how to handle money, or
I don't think there's all that much conflicting, excuse me, instruction on how to handle money. I think in general, if there's instruction on how to handle money, the general things are don't live above your means. Save
Yeah.
a little bit of each paycheck. Hopefully save enough that you can not only save an emergency fund and have a cushion for yourself, but you can also invest in assets like in the stock market.
Yeah. Pay your
Like
credit
those,
card off immediately.
yeah.
Have a credit card.
Get a credit card so that you can have some payment protection in terms of having a buffer, a middleman between you and your bank account so no one's stealing your money. Pay it off in full at the end of each month. Get a cashback card. Like I don't know. Don't pay credit card interest. You don't have to. Don't ever pay any late fees. Just pay your debt off on time. I don't know. I mean, who would be saying things that aren't that? who's saying that you should hold credit card debt?
Well,
You know what I mean?
Well, okay, maybe conflicting advice is not the correct term. Maybe more so what I mean is like, is people glamorizing certain thing, glamorizing like a rich lifestyle having more of an impact than people talking about good financial advice.
Oh, for sure. And it
You
always
get what
will
I'm
be. It's
saying?
way sexier to have a new Audemars or Rolex
The
or a new
Andrew
Gucci
Tate
bag.
fucking like get a
Yeah.
Lambo. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. It's way more attractive for you, even if you're a
What are
high
you doing
income earner.
working? Yeah.
Yes. It's way more attractive if you're a high income earner to rather than save 70,000 a year, spend that 70,000 on a Corvette or on whatever, or go put a down payment on a car that costs you 150,000, but you only put 30,000 down, and then you're going to pay the rest on loan with like a mortgage worth of car payments each month, or to live in a house bigger than you need, you know,
Yeah.
which, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Definitely
think this
scary.
is well, yeah, I definitely think it's scary. I definitely think this is like an individual issue. Like I definitely
100%.
don't think it's an inflation issue.
No, it's not. It's not
Inflation's definitely
America's
not
fault.
great, but
Inflation sucks
this
dick.
this statistic is mostly on an individual basis, I would say. Like
Yeah,
that's the reason that it exists.
I agree.
It's a bummer.
Mm.
And that's why
I
you
don't
should
think
go to Austin Thompson's YouTube
cloudmusicsuite.com.
channel.
Oh, that too. Yeah, yeah. You should go to my YouTube channel. I was just, I don't know if we were in the pre-show party or we were just dicking off before the podcast started, but I said something about money, and then I was like, man, that's why people should go to my YouTube channel.
And that's
So,
why. What were we about to
I'm
say?
about to release a video about the Fed. I have no idea. All right. Well, that's all I got for the article.
You know, and Your Mom's House podcast had Andrew Tate on.
When was this? Was it recent?
No, it wasn't super recent. I don't.
Okay, then I saw clips from it.
It's dude, one of the funniest
He was
podcasts I've ever listened
he was
to.
going wild, bro. And they were
It
like,
was so
they
funny.
realized the silliness in him being ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they invited him on, is because it was just a big. I mean, they were just letting him like talk and like asking him some wild questions and goofing at his responses. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
It is definitely a crazy. Yeah, they were like trying to get him to say the most ridiculous shit on the planet.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh,
I mean,
geez. It did work.
he delivered.
He did.
He was breaking character though. You know, he like it's got to be a character that he's playing.
Yeah, it has to be.
So it was breaking character like in the podcast. He's just like laughing about how ridiculous some of the shit he was saying was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Because you got
yeah.
Tom Segura like repeating it back to him.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. All right. Hey, I got it. We have a shadow audience member, all right, who says, as it relates to our last conversation with paycheck to paycheck, the phone is also a huge problem. And I said, in what way? And they said, it's just way too easy to spend money. Like there's so
Dude,
many
yes.
ways and so accessible and quick to spend money. Like swipe to Apple Pay, buy it now on Amazon. Like you click one button and you're done.
You don't even have to get your card out anymore.
You don't have to get
pull
your
out your
card out.
phone.
Yeah, there's no resistance to you stopping yourself and being like, do I really need this $200 thing that, yes, it might make one area of my life better for a very specific purpose, but do I like really need this right now? Could I wait a couple months? Could I take this $200, put all of it into my emergency fund and have a happier life from that by having peace of mind? I don't know.
I was having a conversation with somebody a while ago that I thought was interesting. It was about like consumer choice. And he said something along the lines of consumer choice is an illusion. And I was like, how do you mean? And he was like, well, it's because like we can pretend that like people choose to have smartphones because that's, you know, just the luxury and that's what they want. But like, you can't live in society now without a smartphone. And I
Why
think
not?
I think you can, but I understand what he's saying. I think it makes things very, very, very difficult uh, to live without a laptop, without a computer, without a cell phone, or like a smartphone in particular. That being said, I think smartphones over the years have like decreased in cost. Like, yes, iPhones are like super expensive, but that's top dog. Like that doesn't have to be the smartphone that you get. You get a smartphone for cheaper than that. Um, but I found that an interesting take.
Is that true?
That you need it.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen people try to go without it. Um,
Tell me what you can't do without it that you have to do.
the biggest thing that I would say is probably work email and work like Slack and chat and stuff like that. If your job requires communication like frequently. For example, like I'm a software engineer, I'm on an on-call rotation where I get notified of issues. Like if I'm on call for the week, I get notified of issues and I have to go address them. If I didn't have a smartphone, wouldn't be able to do that. Which means I would have to be glued to my computer
Sure.
24/7.
You did choose to take that job, though.
That is true.
That's not society making you have an iPhone or a smartphone. That's your job,
I mean,
which was a choice to
that is
accept the job.
that is true. But like, what if you're in a position to not like bounce from job to job? You know what I mean? Like, what if that's that's the only job you can get? I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't even know if I necessarily agree with that, but
What are the chances that's the only job you can get?
I mean, the job market's tough. That being said, the job that would require you to have a cell phone, a smartphone, probably is a higher paying job too. So,
Yeah.
which means you would be able to afford it. But
This is interesting. I feel like it's not true. Like when someone says something like in today's society, I just like it's like something goes off my brain. I'm like, hmm, what made today's society, and why do you think that you had to play a certain way in it? So like to think about all the things that I wouldn't do if I didn't have like, you want to go all technology with a screen, or you just want to do smartphone?
let's start with smartphone.
Okay. What would I not be able to do while I'm away from some other electronic device? I wouldn't be able to manage my money because it's all on a computer screen. And some of the banks that I bank with don't have any like in-person branches. That would be an issue.
Yeah.
Obviously, I couldn't
That's
couldn't
savage.
yeah, she doesn't like that book. I couldn't email people easily. I would have to find some kind of computer, right? I'd have to remember their email address. You can't take calls, can't take texts. So to like plan anything, you'd have to wait until a certain time of day. Yeah, I mean, it would be tough. You'd have to change your life in a large way.
definitely don't think it's impossible, but
It's not impossible.
it's definitely
You would have to make lifestyle
a-
changes.
Yeah, it would be very, very difficult.
I do think we're less happy though because of them.
I agree. I agree with that. We're much less present,
Yep.
and that would be the reason I would say.
Kind of scary.
Yeah.
Oh, Millie, what are you
And
doing?
that's why, to bring it back, so many people spend so much money and are living paycheck to paycheck because they see the glamorized lifestyle on their phones.
Yeah, and they're depressed.
And
They
they're
think
depressed.
that things are gonna fix them.
Yeah.
Things aren't gonna fix you, man. Fulfillment's gonna fix you. Real connection's gonna fix you. Look at this cat. What's up, Millie? Come here. Come here. No, you come
Up
here.
to no good.
Oh gosh, she ran away. All right, well, you got me thinking now. Oh, when I'm thinking, I guess I'm not in the talking mood. You got a thought of the week, don't you? Good time for a thought of the week.
Oh yeah, I guess I do. I wrote down, dude, I feel like, to go back to our movie conversation, I feel like movies now more than they ever were are just a lot of recycled ideas. Not always. There are some newer concepts, but I feel like anytime, and maybe it's just because it's grabbing my attention, anytime I see a movie preview now, it's like rehashing of an old Pixar movie. You know what I mean? It's like far in the future of this Pixar, movie. Or the one I just most recently saw was a prequel to all the Hunger Games movies.
Yeah.
Continuing the Star Wars trilogy, stuff like that. I feel like, movies like Inception and stuff like that. I don't see trailers for stuff like that anymore as much as we used to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think capitalism is to blame, to be honest. When it's
Yeah.
easier to drum up hype around something and sell merchandise around something that already was good in the past.
Yeah.
So like the risk taking seems to be lower in times of like we'll just say like economic hardship, end of mid 2022 to now has been a lot of economic hardship for a lot of the population of the United States. So even maybe even before that, early 2022 for some people.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think the risk taking goes down as the economy gets worse, and then the risk taking goes up when the economy's better.
Yeah.
I do think it's a product of capitalism, though.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to go through cycles.
I agree. And it's a lot of like, a lot of studios have bought out, other studios. And now that they have the property of that, film trilogy or that series, like they should be like, well, it worked very well for that. So we're going to continue.
Yeah. Let's cash in on it.
Making. Yeah. Which I don't think is always bad, but it's just like when I look at movies, I haven't gone to the movies in a long time. Dungeons and Dragons was the last one, but before that was probably a year since I went to see a movie in theaters. And I just feel like it's because whenever I see a movie trailer, just like organically, I'm always just like, what Toy Story 10? What do you mean? So
Toy Story 10.
Toy Story 10, Star Wars 20. What are you
Star
talking
Wars
about?
23.
The funny thing about Star Wars, though, that I do think is cool is,
Wait, didn't a recent one just come out?
oh, maybe, I don't know.
What?
Be with you. That's today.
Oh, today, May the 4th be
Oh,
with
May
you.
the 4th be with you.
Dude,
Look at
that's
that.
so
Star
fucked
Wars
up to
Day.
people with lisps, but anyway. Like that's what that's so messed up, man.
Imagine saying that to somebody.
My birthday's in 2 days.
Dude, it is.
I'm gonna be 23.
Congrats. Did you get an email yet?
Yes, I did. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 23 years old.
23 years old. Wow.
Yeah.
You're turning as old as me.
Well, yeah, you're catching up to me.
Well, I think that's how that works.
Oh, I haven't aged since a long time. It's been a
Since
while.
like 4 or 5,
Uh,
8,
about like
like 5.
no, I'm 23 though. In 2 days. So looking forward to 23 and me.
It's
It's
nice.
gonna be a good year. This is my year.
This is your Oh my god.
Goodness.
Dude, New Year's
No.
resolutions. This is my
Oh
year.
yeah, I
This is
forgot
it.
about
Last
this.
year wasn't it,
Last
but
year I
this
know I
year,
had the
this one's
exact
it.
same goals, but this one's mine.
This one's mine.
I'm taking it.
And then they
It's
come
mine
March and
forever.
it's like, maybe next year.
Maybe next year it'll be my year. This year
Oops.
ain't working out for
Hindsight
me.
2020.
Hindsight 2022. Oh my god.
Do you have any thoughts of the week?
Let's
Wait, I
think.
should stop you before you go on your tangent.
Oh, do I have a tangent? Oh yeah. I do have one like overarching thought over the last 20 hours or so, but I'm not gonna go there. Like I said, if you want to know about it, you should just text me and I'll tell you the lessons I learned, and then we'll rejoice, and then you'll go watch my YouTube channel, and it'll be a good time.
That'll be great.
I'm gonna release a new video once I get it edited. I haven't started editing it yet, but it's about the Fed.
Nice.
The fucking Fed.
I'm tuned in. I'm ready.
Anyway, it's a good one. It's informative, but it's probably gonna have a nice clickbait title. Fed
yeah.
just crashed the market. Major
Nice.
changes explained.
That's good. That's really good.
You like that? All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
write that down. Write that down.
The Fed did what to my portfolio?
Oh, God.
I'm not exaggerating.
This sounds. Oh yeah. Fed crashed the market. Major changes explained.
Oh my god.
That's classic. If that doesn't get views, I don't know what will.
Dude, just isn't it funny to think about like the eras of YouTube? Just like how YouTube used to be
so crazy. You
just
remember
a
the
place.
exposed era? I feel like we've talked about the exposed era before.
Oh
It
yeah.
was like 2016 to 2018 was like exposed era. And then
Yeah.
like 2014 to 2016 was like the prank era, dude.
Dude, you're right. Yeah, it was always all these prank videos.
Yeah.
Oh
And then there was a making funny music from my bedroom era for sure. It's like,
yeah.
or just like rap battles, you know, the funny music
the
era
rap
was
battles,
that was so
yeah.
wholesome.
And
Epic
like
rap battles of
Smosh.
history, Smosh, dude. Yeah. Epic rap battles of history was great.
Yeah.
Rhett and Link even did some like rap battles.
Yep. That's a classic.
Man,
There's the
we should do like a whole
YouTube
deep dive on Rhett and Link's freaking
history.
They're so
Their empire.
They're empire, yeah. It's such an empire. They're so resilient and like so consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. They're amazing. Fucking love those guys.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, well, we're just rambling at this point, so let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up. Heck yeah.
Got a cat collar here.
Oh, nice.
I guess she didn't want to wear that cat collar. It's been your best friends. It's Austin. And
it's Sean.
And wait. It's Millie.
It's Podcat.
Oh, she's not having it.
No.
Bye. See you later. She's not here for it. I love you. Can you hear her?
No.
She's like,
That's
she didn't like that.
Nah.
All right. Well, we love you.
We love you.